what it do? It's your boy Yellow the Poet.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Princess Jasmine.
And I'm me. Who are you? Today's topic is...
Today, we're actually going to be talking about give me my personal space. Goodness gracious.
But before we get into that, let's bring attention to today is National Mental Health Awareness Day. So, mental health, as we all know, is a serious medical issue. And some people won't even realize that they actually have a mental health issue until it actually takes over them. They don't know what's going on. They think they're going crazy, that type of thing. Mental health is definitely real. It's nothing to be made fun of or made light of.
Right.
So, for those of us who we may know someone or related to someone who may have those type of, medical illness, let's just, give them as much patience as we can and try to help them cope, because I'm quite sure it's way harder for them than it is anyone else.
Yes.
So again, today is National Mental Health Awareness Day. This month also is National Breast Cancer Month. And I don't know about anyone else, but that is a very personal issue for me. Not that I have ever had it, but my great aunt had it, as well as my grandmother. They both had it. And every month, every time October comes around and, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I think of them. So any of you who has someone that's going through that, or know of someone that has gone through it, may have, passed on to the other side, or they beat it, let's just make sure we keep that mindset. National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Also, this is also the awareness month for Black Cats. Black Cats Awareness Month, because around this time, because of the stigma around Black cats, of how they
I
are
personally have an issue with black cats. They are my familiars, so therefore, what's up, black cats? I have no problem. You can cross my path anytime.
The problem with it is that, especially around this time, spooky season, around this time, a lot of black cats don't get adopted, and also, when they do get adopted, people will adopt them just to kill them. That's why Black Cat Awareness Month is a thing.
And back in ancient times, the Egyptians saw cats as sacred.
Yeah.
Sacred.
And it
guardians.
is true and proven that cats are actually
Highly
protected.
sensitive.
They protect you from negative spirits.
Exactly. They're highly
It has been
sensitive.
proven.
I love black cats. They are so pretty.
Hands off the damn black cats if you have nothing good for them. Stay away from them. There's no reason to harm them. Stay away from them. And I'm allergic to cats. I wish I could get one, but unfortunately I can't. But I'm not going to harm them in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to
raw
walk
chicken
now.
walking around here.
But it's okay.
And also, one other thing, every year I do post a poem for breast cancer awareness. So I will have something for you coming soon. I've already been working on it, so I will have something for you all coming pretty soon. And it's just my tribute to motivating you to continue to be the fighters that you are.
On to our topic of personal space. Some people don't know what that is. It existed long before social distancing.
Oh, man. Especially with me. I've been social distancing before it became a problem.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
Well, this is a little bit different. Personal space. This is mostly related to couples, as far as going to personal space and that whole topic we did on King.
Oh my.
So we a bit different. they're entitled to have that throughout the course of the day. You know, some designated period in that day they should be allowed some personal space to do whatever it is they want to do, whether it's meditate, sit back, reflect on the day's events, or you know, just everyday life. Hell, even if they don't want to do anything, just sit there and stare. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay, but everyone is entitled and should be allowed to have personal space.
Yes, and there are so many things, so many reasons, so many time frames. There's so many ways to create that space that you need, and a lot of times it's not always about you want to get away from someone annoying, but you also want space to yourself, by yourself, to actually get to know more about you. You know, that whole thing about self-preservation, you know, and getting to know oneself. Self-preservation, self-reflection. I know it's a bit different, but I'm just saying, like, each person may have their own reason. So whatever that reason is, it's just that at some point in life, it's always good to have that space. I mean, think about it like this: when some of us, especially for those of us who are single, when you're in bed, you know, what do you think of? What are some of the things that you think about? How do you actually sit down and pre-plan for the next day, or you know what I'm saying? It's just different things and different reasons that space is so important.
Yes, we think about that. We plan for the next day, what we gonna do, what we gonna eat, what we gonna wear, what we think about when we want to bed. You know,
In all honesty, it's not just for single people.
right, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said for example.
My thing is, especially, you should allow your significant other, whatever, personal space to, you know, have that me time to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs that. When you around each other 24/7, constantly in each other's airspace, you tend to start getting bored with each other, easily irritated with each other.
Oh my gosh.
Just, you know,
The worst
you
is that.
start to argue a little bit more because you don't have that separation.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you still be together, but still be separate.
The
So,
worst case in that I
Yes.
experienced was this one kid that I knew. His girlfriend was always like all over him all the time. Like he couldn't even breathe. Okay, she's there. Okay, always in his face. Always. It got to the point where he wanted his personal space so bad, but he was really trying not to be mean to her because she was like super sensitive and all that type of stuff, and he knows that she deals with like mental health issues, like depression and things like that. And he didn't want to like be mean. He was trying to figure out how to deal with it. So what he did was he told me and my friends, because we were all so cool with her, and he told me and my friends, he was like, "Can y'all like get her for like a day?" So I could just, just chill or play some football with the boys, because I don't even get to play football with the boys because of her. So can y'all just like, I don't know, go somewhere, go to the park?
but
So,
you know what the thing is?
he was like, we got you.
You should be able to say to your significant other or to your partner or whoever,
Yeah.
hey, I just need some me time, some personal space right now, and that should be okay.
Yeah.
Nobody should get in their feelings or, get that tone up, go find it. You can have all the personal space you want, no, you have to do all that.
And from a professional standpoint, I'm just gonna say this: like, I've been watching like 3 different websites, and they're all credible. So just check them out when you get a chance. thespruce.com. They talk about the comfortable distance and the respect of personal space.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have National Geographic, but you got to go to the topic where it says you need your personal space, and here's the science of why.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other one, which is psychologytoday.com. They talk about 5 things you need to know about personal space. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is if you, as a person, are not sure if you're giving your significant other, your family members, your friends, or whomever enough space, just check out these websites and get at least some ideas on what the other person may feel like before you invade that person's space and then cause a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you, like, especially for those of us who are not trying to cause any types of problems, check that out. You know, check out those 3 sites and get some ideas. I mean, because, like, for example, the segment that we talked about on Saturday and Sunday when we talked about the cleanliness, some people are not comfortable with that type of closeness all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some people are not comfortable with that. So another reason why, if you don't want to make your significant other angry, give them some space. And then think about it like this too. When you, as a person, this is something real simple too, like go to the bathroom. Do you think you want everybody going to the bathroom with you, or you want your significant other going to the bathroom with you? I mean, seriously, at some point, there's always got to be a point where we're taking that time to ourselves. Like, it's crazy, but some people think better in the bathroom. And I kid you not, I've come up with a bunch of different forms just in the damn bathroom alone. Like, seriously. I mean, because it's quiet. Think about it. It's quiet. And not many people are going to come into the bathroom. And, I mean, it's crazy because sometimes it's not even that I have to use the bathroom. Even when I'm taking a shower, these things just come up.
Oh my God.
It's just like,
my shower thoughts. My shower thoughts are immaculate. Where's Harvard? Tell them to hit me up. My shower thoughts, yo. So tell me why. I had a shower thought, and this is so serious. Think about it though. Like, you gotta really think about it. The only time that pedophilia is not looked at as a bad thing is if it's a vampire. Because a vampire is like hundreds of thousands of years old. They super old. And then they find somebody of the time that they're in. And that person is like a lot younger than them.
That is so crazy when you think about that, man.
Right?
That is crazy.
As long as they obey the 18, it's a consenting adult.
What about the ones that are not?
Well, I'm sorry, you're still a pedophile, vampire or not.
Well, hold on now, because now we also gotta put something else into play, because you gotta think about laws. Think about in Georgia, 17 is considered an adult.
Yeah.
In some
and
places
16,
overseas, 16 is
in Georgia
considered.
is the legal age of consent.
Okay, well, fine. Whatever place the statute stipulates the age of consent, as long as you're within that age, fine. If not, you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
You indeed.
It's the same rule apply.
And then it's like
Human
a lot
or
of things
non-human.
so weird. And I'm like, you guys are shipping
They don't get no special pass. What the hell?
They're
No.
so old. They're old enough to be my grandpa's grandpa. What? No. So weird. Like, I had that random thought one time. I was thinking about that, like, that is so crazy.
But you never thought of, like, this was one of the things that they talked about. Have you ever thought about this? And a lot of people probably have never even thought about this at all. Have you ever thought about when you get around someone or in a relationship with someone, and one of your main thoughts is that this person, what's up, L? Long time no see, man. Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. But you ever thought about that time frame when you around somebody or you talking to somebody and you feel like this person has a wall up? Believe it or not.
I always have
I know, but
according to
check this out.
opinion,
But
my
check this
wall
out.
stays
But
up.
check this out. In the Spruce, when they talk about personal space, believe it or not, that's that person creating a wall between them and the other people, which again, thus, is another form of personal space.
OkCupid.com. I don't need no website to tell me that. I mean, no.
But
I
everybody
just
don't
feel
think the
like
same.
this.
You have to think about that now.
First of all, I just feel like didn't care who has a problem or had a problem with my wall because I don't like my wall. My wall's not going anywhere. So if you can't figure out how to maneuver around my wall, then maneuver your ass onto another person because I'm not taking that wall down for anyone.
It's not that. It's just that some people don't know or don't understand. That
Well, you know
that is
what?
a
Some people
personal
should
space.
ask, perhaps, and then they would know. If you don't know, that means you should ask. Isn't
Well-
that why questions exist?
Okay,
Because of the not knowing?
and speaking of the question, think about, let me ask this. Do you feel like if someone walks up to you and, I mean, I know I do, but do you feel like if someone walks up to you and just basically starts a conversation with you, do you feel like they're intruding your personal space?
Depending on how close they get. Like if you're this close to me, then yeah, you're intruding my personal space. But if you walk up to me and we're about like the distance between you and I, that's fine. Talk to me. What's up? You know, I'll talk to you. I don't care. But if you get too close, then yeah.
Yeah, that all depends on the closeness.
Yeah.
What proximity you
Okay,
are.
okay.
That
Another
plays a
reason why
part.
I asked that because this question was asked before. I was asking some of the guys there, and some of the guys felt like, if I don't know you, then why you talking to me?
Well, I feel like there was sometimes depending on where you're.
You know, I only feel like that if I'm having a conversation, a one-on-one conversation, and then there's a random stranger that I have no clue, never seen or whatever, walks up and just injects themselves into the conversation. It's like, okay, who the fuck are you? And who was talking to you?
Right.
Right.
And where the hell did you come from? You know, so it's like, that's when I have a problem when that happens. But if me and a random stranger, we say back at home, Chicago, when you waiting on a bus, there may be other people walking up catching that same bus.
Right.
And random conversations can occur.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we, you know, having a discussion or whatever, and the people back at home now, I don't know how this works anyplace else, but I know back at home, people back at home, if you are sitting at that bus stop and say you and a random stranger do end up starting to have a conversation, say it's other people sitting there too, it's just you and this one particular person, and you have the conversation, and you're talking loud enough where the others can hear you.
Right.
They have a way of interjecting themselves that is not disrespectful,
Yeah.
nor really
Yeah.
make you ask them who the fuck was talking to you.
Yeah, 'cause
You know, they either snicker or they'll laugh, and then that makes you end up turning around.
Can I say something
Yeah,
to that?
whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, can I say something to that? Because I have a different opinion.
Yeah, or they'll say, whoo, yeah, we know what you're talking about. Like if they snicker, you turn around and they go, yeah, we do it. And then all of a sudden, you and the whole group is
Yeah.
having
Yeah, everybody at the bus stop has a whole
So
conversation.
if it's something like that, no, I have a problem with it because, like I said, I'm used to that because that's how they interject
We had
themselves
those
like
type
a
of
mom.
conversations on the train back at home. That's what trips me out because one day I was talking to somebody and it was a person of a different nationality and there was like a bunch of different people on the train. And on that car that we were on, it was so crazy because the whole entire car
End up having.
ended up in that one discussion.
Exactly.
And
So if it's
some
like
of us
that,
actually
no.
missed our stops,
I don't-
but it was cool.
If
though.
it's like that, I don't get upset or I don't find it rude or anything like that.
Right.
Because
It all depends on
they
how
did
you
it up
approach,
to
how you approach,
Yeah.
and like how close, what's your distance and how you approach. That's what really depends on if I feel like you're intruding my personal space. or not.
Right. Right.
Because if I'm on a phone and I'm talking to somebody, and you're like, oh, excuse you, who told you?
Yeah,
I'm
like, hold
trying
up.
to figure out who told you.
That's what I'm saying. Like you look at them like,
You know, lost your mind.
where did you come from and who the hell talking to you?
Right.
I'm confused. Do I know you? Or that's what we used to look at and say, do I know you? And
But
think like, well,
another
oh,
thing-
okay, so why are you talking to me?
Another thing too, for those of us out here who don't really know, but even for those who do know, the comfort zone. the comfort zone is definitely another space. And I think that if you're intrigued by someone's comfort zone, or if you have any questions about someone's comfort zone, I think that it would be more respectful to ask them about that rather than to assume, because body language is tricky. Like me, one of my comfort zones is right here. When I'm standing up and I'm waiting for somebody, it's not that I'm impatient, it's not that I'm angry or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? This is just my comfort zone. And for somebody else that's doing this, got their arms folded, it may look like, okay, I'm ready to fight anybody that comes in my direction. You know, or it may just be like, I'm so sick of this, I'm so tired of it. Yeah, like, because different body languages can dictate or depict different things, but it's about the individual. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know what their comfort level is or where their comfort zone is, so it's best to ask
I get asked about my comfort zone all the time. Here go mine right here. Me and my hoodies, my comfort zone right here. I'm always wearing my comfort zone. It's my comfort zone, me and my hoodies. I get asked about it all the time. You know how I get asked?
What?
You not hot? I got so tired. Okay, it was this one dude
Like if I
that
was
I
hot,
did
you think
not
I was
like.
still have this on?
It was one dude that I really did not like, that I went to school with. And I would come with my hoodies on. You know hot? You know hot? You know hot? I said, nope, I'm not. And you weren't either. Now stop talking to me. I'm like,
So
"Geez."
on psychology.com they stated the 5 phases: be kind to your friends, look around you, confront if you can, but not if you can't. Sniff but don't snoop. Learn to read body language. And I just talked about body language, right?
Right, they said be kind to your friends, not your best friends. That's a different scenarios right here.
Well, not all friends are friends, some of them are just associates. And people say, some people misinterpret the word friend for an associate.
I don't even,
Associate, I don't really know you like that. I may be having a conversation with you, but I don't really know you like that.
people sit there ask me, oh, y'all friends? I'd be like, we cool. I don't know.
Right.
But I wouldn't call us friends because, yeah, I'm lying. Oh, this your little friend right here? Nah, we cool. That's about it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say it right in front of the person. We cool. We ain't on beef, you know, and no issues there, and nothing wrong. That's it.
So when it says look around you, it says be respectful and attentive to the boundaries, especially in close spaces and especially when there's no easy escape.
Yeah.
This is about space, giving the person your personal space. So, I mean, when you be attentive to your boundaries, you want to be respectful about what you say and how you approach people. Basically what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, be respectful
Talk
of
about
how
how
you
you
approach people and how you
That's like
come
it's
off
hard.
to
You know
people.
that.
And if you ain't got no exit, and you just say the wrong thing or do the wrong,
Yeah, it could turn out, it could be a bad turnout.
And become very negative.
It could be. You know, it says, be
all I
kind to
gotta
your
say
friends. It says you have more freedom to invade the personal space of people you know well rather than strangers.
Yeah,
But don't
because-
take for granted the likelihood that they won't mind you closing in
Exactly.
on you.
Don't think that they're going to be receptive to that.
and me and that stranger running no exit, and you invade my space, I just gotta say, what's the number to the ambulance?
No, be like,
Perceived as a problem.
But what's the number?
so like it said, confront it if you can, but not if you can't. So it's saying if confrontation isn't an option, find ways to distract yourself or at least send out signals that the invasion isn't okay. So like basically for some, you know how like if a guy comes try to talk to a female and thinking that they got their little Mac, I don't think they so cool, and the female kind of ignore them or won't say nothing about certain things, she won't say anything. that's basically what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that right there could possibly cause confrontation. If she's not willing to talk to you, shut the fuck up. Like,
Please.
you know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. Go do something else. Don't get upset.
Some people don't know how to take that slut chance.
Right.
Some people you just got to be downright rude.
And then they get the audacity to get mad about it. Like, but that's you. You don't trust me. And I told you that I don't want you, and you get mad at me for that. No, because like, here's the thing. Females, with a lot of females, we tell you nicely at first. We tell you, I'm cool, or we'll tell you straight up, you're not my type.
Or whatever.
When we tell you, you're not my type, stop there, or you're about to get your feelings hurt, and probably your jaw broke.
Take a page from Frozen.
Oh my God. Okay.
That would be so more the wives are happier for that because then nobody's feeling hurt. You know, you won't feel this small after you're walking away.
And from a guy's perspective, when you know that you're the type of guy who will approach, here we go with the personal space thing again. When you was at home, you had all of the personal space you needed to check yourself, to cross-reference yourself and make sure that you had all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. In other words, for those of you who don't understand what that means, you had all the time in the world to make sure that you was like lined up, shaved up, well-groomed, face washed, smelling good. And I didn't say put on perfume or put on cologne old funk. I said smelling good. Make sure your body was clean and all this good stuff. Make sure that you're not crusty with ash running all across you. You have all this time in your personal space to ensure that you were together.
That's right.
Before you approach the female. Take advantage of that. And it doesn't mean that just because you're clean cut, well groomed, and smelling good, and looking good, that you automatically gonna pick up on the female. It doesn't mean that. So let's not even get that in your head. Seriously.
Right. I don't care how you look or what you got. If I don't want you, then I don't want you. Simple as that.
Right.
If you got a problem with that, you can come catch the spade. I fight boys too.
What's up, Penny? How you doing? Can you say hey, everyone?
Hello.
I'm telling people I can care less. Okay, I fight boys. I've been fighting boys.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm just saying though, like, don't get it in your like personal space is so important. Like a lot of people really don't understand that there's so many different versions or facets or different areas of personal space. It's so important.
The dynamics are real.
Yes.
Very, very real.
Yes,
when it comes to the personal space.
Yes.
It's a very valuable thing to have.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're in a relationship.
In the workplace. Think about the workplace.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
take for example,
but
if
you
you
know,
work in.
see, when you at work,
Yeah, but still.
co-workers, they don't recognize the boundaries. They just think of it as we at work, so that's my cue where I can invade your space, you invade my space, and all is well with the world.
But think about it like this, take it, and you know from personal experience, just like I know from personal experience. Take for example a merchandiser. You know, when you merchandising, you gotta literally sit back, contemplate, think about how everything needs to be arranged.
Yes, and it's very
about
tedious.
the
So when someone
coordination,
gets
it's
in
a
your
lot.
way, when you're in the midst of getting that done, because me, when I'm doing that, I am a merchandiser, so when I'm doing that, my first thing is to go in my zone.
Mm-hmm.
That means I tune everyone out.
Yeah.
There is nothing in my mind but what I'm going to merchandise as far as that blank canvas that I have.
Yeah.
And I have to envision that in my mind. So if you come into my zone and you're distracting me, I'm going to get angry.
Yeah.
Because now you don't came somewhere where you shouldn't have. Because there was a do not disturb sign right there, and you just took that and flung it up to the side and just went on ahead and invaded my zone.
Yeah.
So when it's like that, when you need that everybody move, I'm right here. I let you know when you can come back. You know, when that, you know, that's how you gotta kind of look at that.
Yeah.
So it's like personal space is extremely valuable, and you know that
It
is in the
is.
workplace.
It
Yeah,
is.
well, depending on what type of work you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, think about it,
you need
analytics.
that. You
Think
need
about
that.
it, analytics. Like one of my business courses where I got my certificate at in Chicago, we had to actually take a room, a vacant room, and you had all these boxes sitting on the outside. Now, before you can even touch the boxes, you had to put the boxes in the room mentally and make sure that they all can fit. Then, whatever you had analytically put together in your mind, you had to take all those boxes physically and make sure that all those boxes can actually fit in that room.
Kind of like what kind of like your merchandise.
Yeah, it's kind of like merchandise.
You have, for me, I don't know how other people do theirs, but me, I have to envision it in my mind first, and then it's like a painting. Do it, put it out there.
Yeah, perform the artwork. It's on the
For
clock.
all to see,
Yeah.
and then I become quite pleased as long as I'm not interrupted.
Yeah, and you don't want people to disturb you. Like take for example the cook inside of a restaurant. I know that cooks get a lot of different orders and things of that nature, but why would you want to be sitting there trying to hold the conversation with the cook? The person that's got to prepare everybody's food.
No, do you want better? The worst thing.
Standing there, though. I'm saying like just standing there.
No.
Trying to hold a conversation with
The
the
worst one yet is when you're trying to hold a conversation with the cashier who's trying to run the front counter and the drive-thru by themselves. Because somebody decided not to show up to work. Don't sit there and try to hold on conversation with me.
And not only that, count the damn money. Because if your drawer come up short, then what?
Right.
The
Don't
person
talk
that was
about
trying to hold the conversation with you ain't gonna get in trouble.
Exactly.
You the one that's gonna get in trouble.
Exactly. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I've had a few people that did that. Like, I'm sitting here, you see me with a headset on, you just saw me in the drive-thru, I have to have somebody make food, and I'm over here with you, taking your order. Okay, tell me what you want. All right, cool, go ahead and get it. Boom, 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 all right. Then you blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, you're not about to sit here and talk to me and have a conversation about anything else besides what you want, how much it is. That's it, because I'm still sitting here with a headset on. It's beeping right now. Hold on. Okay, what do you need? Okay, all right. And that'll be all for you? Yeah, okay, cool. Like, don't sit there and try to have a conversation with me when you see me doing that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm over here.
Multitasking is a serious thing. Right?
It is.
It's not always easy. It's kind of tough at times, depending on what you got to do, where you at, what arena. It's kind of tough at times. But that space when that person is in that zone, especially like if you killing it and you got a multitask and you killing it, then somebody want to be like, hey, I need you to come over here and look. No, you don't need me to do nothing.
Right.
You need to leave me alone. Is what you need.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. When I got that flow going,
Yes.
get out of my way. Don't talk to me. Move.
Exactly.
Get out of my way.
That's like
Luda songs in my head. Move.
It's like when you
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Because I got that flow going and I don't need nobody in my way on that. No. If my flow get messed up, then it's going to be a problem.
It's like when mama in the kitchen and she got 1,000 children and all the children want to be bad as hell, running around, screaming and hollering, making a bunch
That's
of
gonna be
noise.
1,000 ass women.
And yeah, but think about it. You gotta cook.
The food can wait. Teach your ass so I can make this food.
Hey, I'm just saying, in general, like, come on, children, like, and that's another thing that people gotta understand too. Children, small children, really don't understand your personal space.
They don't.
So what you have to do is be creative in getting your personal space from them and make them understand certain things, certain boundaries. If you don't make your children understand these certain boundaries, they're gonna run over your ass. You ain't really the parent. You the child.
That's no, see, you have to, like Barney Fife used to say on Indifferent, you gotta nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud.
You gotta go hide and seek
When
in
it
children.
comes to the that can't be allowed to be.
Exactly.
First of all, when my kids do, when I'm in the kitchen, you ain't in the kitchen. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm in the kitchen. There's nobody else, just me.
Right.
So I didn't have to worry about that. That was never something that had to be discussed because it's like you, and they knew why. Not you need to explain to them why that is because accidents do happen, especially if you're frying food or you're baking and that type of thing. So I mean, but I think if you broke it down to the child, they understand. Why not come to the kitchen when you're in there trying to prepare food or whatever? Because it's just not a safe space to be at that time.
If I have a child that's in the way, I'm hitting you with that high. High, I'm count, okay? Okay. Are you hiding? Make sure you go hide.
So you know,
Kids
they can be reasoned, and you can, you know, you can tell them stuff and let them know what not to do, and they listen for the most part. I mean, not all children are hard-headed like that.
I swear I'm gonna be that parent. Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting there. Ready or not, here I come. Sitting there stirring food and everything. I swear that'd be me. I swear it would. They sitting there thinking I'm coming to get you.
Yes, personal space is extremely important.
It is, and there's a lot of scenarios, there's a lot of reasons why personal space is important. You know, it doesn't
Just
matter
talk
if
to
it's
your
at
partner,
home,
ask them
if it's
how
at the workplace.
do they feel about, you know, each one having personal space.
And that's a part of preventive maintenance right there. When you asking the other person before.
We didn't talk about
anything-
preventive maintenance yet, so you kind of like.
I know what I'm saying. Like it is like preventing things from happening, bad things from happening before it happens. I know we didn't talk about preventive maintenance yet, but still,
I don't know, that's very good.
it's
Hey,
it's
I'm doing some of
important.
that.
Preventive maintenance.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one time. Because I'm doing that. Yeah. I got natural birth control.
Okay. I'm not even finna go there. Oh, not even, no.
Anyway,
No.
on another note,
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, when it says learn to read body language, sensitizing yourself and recognizing the signals that you have gotten too close or observing the other person's behavior. If you sense you've overstepped, back off. Leave. This is as far as psychology.
How many people actually know how to do that?
For your safety, back off.
How many people actually know how to do that?
Look,
Rousey.
it's so simple. Look, baby, just do a 180 and take like 50 steps.
Like, it's a couple of seconds just to do that 180. Literally, a couple of seconds. Now, let's go into this part of personal space. A lot of people look at personal space as only keeping your distance. It's not just about keeping your distance, it's also the language in which you speak. So,
Really?
take for example, if we're on a particular subject and we're talking, we're really engaged in our conversation, and someone decides to make a statement about what we're talking about, you're invading that space. You're invading that personal space just off of your verbiage alone. Because one, if it was not a group discussion, you shouldn't have been a part of it. So
Okay.
verbiage can be a portion of personal space. A lot of people don't know that, but it is. It is.
Learn something new every day. See that? See that?
Hey,
Well now.
well, kind of think about it like this, like on psychology.com when it said one of the 5 things, it says sniff but not snoop. So basically, be aware of the sensory intrusion you created by wearing strong scents. That's another part of invading somebody's space because somebody may be allergic or sensitive to those fragrances.
Okay.
Talking too loud in the public places, like when the people be on their phones and they be like, come on, seriously. Or
Duct tape.
asking overly personal questions to a stranger. Like, for example, when I was in Georgia, I was standing at the bus stop. This was before I got my car, and this guy walked up to the bus stop. He's like, "Oh, I see you standing at the bus stop too." I was like, "No, I'm just waiting on my ride." Then after that, dude was like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Okay, sure, ask your question." I was just not in the mood to talk, and I'm like giving the signs of without trying to be rude. So he wanted to talk anyway, so I just let him. He was like, "So, your girl ever asked you for the password to your phone?" I said, "No, she didn't have to. In the beginning of the relationship, I gave it to her." He like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have anything to hide." He was like, "Man, you crazy, man. Ain't no way in hell I would be giving my girl." I was like, "Well, that's you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's you. That's your problem." Then, like, so when y'all in bed, and y'all sleeping, I'm like, okay, first off, stop right there. When we're in the bed, that's only between me and her. That ain't nobody's business but mine and hers. It's like, no, I don't mean like that, but I said, it's okay, since you didn't mean like that. But then, right, he was super nosy. So I'm like, so since you didn't mean like that, but then let me ask you something. What's the PIN to your debit card? And give me your debit card number 2, your credit card number 2. And he's like, huh, what? I was like, oh damn, my bad, I didn't mean to ask you that. So, what's your social security number? And he's like, what? He's like, well, you asked me all these personal questions. I said, what the fuck you think you just said to me?
Right. What do you think you asking me?
Right.
You're asking me personal questions, extremely
I'm
personal
like,
questions.
I'm like, I done gave you the sign that 1, I didn't even want to talk. I'm not in the mood to be talking. And 2, then you gonna ask me something personal? Are you fucking serious?
See, here's the thing. This is why I'm glad I look the way I look, okay? Because when you're just sitting there chilling, I would approach you. I would. But me, apparently, people don't approach me because one girl literally told me, after a while, me and her became cool, we were friends in school, all that, blah, 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 hung out outside of school, all that. She told me, I wasn't going to talk to you because that's actually going to scream at me.
Scream?
Yeah, she legit said, I feel like he probably would have screamed at me. And I'm like,
No, I'd rather have that. I mean, according to everybody, I look evil.
yeah,
They
they
don't
always tell me
they feel that I'm
I
evil.
feel like
I'm like, I'm evil. They're like, no, you're not saying that you are. It's your face, your the expression on your face. I'm like,
yeah, especially
where's the expression on my face? Like,
you do, yeah.
what does that mean?
It was probably the same expression from earlier today. You came from the DMV.
We are not going to talk about the DMV.
No, I'm not saying that we're
bring
talking about that, but
nightmare
an
up.
example of what they may have been looking at.
Your morning face. You look like you're like possessed and you got to wake up and set the whole house on fire.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't see that.
Thank you. Hello.
I don't see
know.
that anymore.
You wake up, you walk out that room in the morning, you look like you're about to kill somebody's dog.
Hey, in all fairness, I'm just waking up, mind you. Who wakes up with an automatic smile on their face? Well, that's just special. But anyway. Yeah,
I do.
Don't. No one wakes up with an automatic smile on their face. That's
Well,
just
you
not
wake
normal.
up like you don't know what year you in.
Exactly. That's just not even normal to wake up like that. Second of all, my mind is just now catching up to the fact of where I am.
Right.
So, if that look that you see in the morning is not like a look, I want to kill someone's dog, it's, I'm processing every place that I am. I'm processing it. It's the light. So yeah, I mean, no one, like I said, wakes up with, hey, how you doing? Nobody does that.
It's gonna be alright.
If you are, you're not human.
I'll just make sure
It's gonna be alright.
So, therefore,
you're not human.
I am not evil. I am not. I am not evil.
That depends on the day.
Whatever. I am not evil. I can have my moods sometimes, but I am not evil. Okay. Whatever. Anyway. Don't mind these people, viewers. Pay them no attention. They've all been drinking today.
I haven't
Had a little bit too much to drink today, and none of them
I'm not too after this segment.
No, I'm just joking. They haven't been drinking. But that's not true what they're saying either. I'm not evil.
Well, she's not evil. She just looking. Well,
No, she's not evil. Just me.
yeah, that one is more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm going to remember this day.
There's nothing wrong with
So,
people tell me I'm evil all the time. You know what I say?
I'm going to remember this
That's
day.
wrong.
I really am.
We love you too, man.
This, whatever.
We love you too.
Yeah, right. Tell us to the judge. Anyhow.
Hey, bro, look.
Again, this is where we need personal space. Me. I need personal
Hey,
space. Personal
Look at me.
space. Personal space.
Look at many people. Look how many people can be offended just by you walking up to them and talking to them. If you don't pay attention to their body language, if you don't learn body language, you asking for it. Like seriously. And I think that body language should be something that every single individual gets to a point in their life where they want to learn that. Like seriously, we all should learn that. Because that's important. Especially to a person's personal space.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much know how to be. I don't need to do that. I have my own method. So,
What
Yeah,
I'm implying is for those of you who seem to always run into a problem, trying to hold a conversation with somebody that show that they really don't want to talk to you, but you insist on talking anyway.
If they don't lead into conversation,
Don't talk.
don't talk. Keep going. That really is that simple.
Well, but some people have that
Eagerness to just run their mouth.
that inkling of last minute hope.
Gosh, that's sad.
They do. They have that last minute hope, like maybe if I talk long enough.
Not what you
they
say,
have-
but what she said. The eagerness to run their
Run
mouth.
out.
Oh,
Don't know how to shish.
oh,
Hey,
oh.
Sheesh.
truth is truth. You know what I'm saying? Truth is truth.
Well, I mean, come on. You can't like just automatically expect someone to want to hold a conversation with you.
Well,
Who
guess
does
what?
that? Who walks
Guess
around
what?
and does
To
that?
all of the viewers, I'm invading your personal space because I'm talking to you right now. So we
Yeah, but you're not in person. You're
I
on
know,
video,
I know.
so they can just click you off and get what you're saying. They don't even have to give you no look or anything. Just click, turn it off, turn them off, shut them down. So yeah.
Man, but really, like, how many of you out there, and you don't have to say no names or anything, but how many of you feel like you're in a relationship where somebody invades your personal space? I mean, it happens.
I don't live in my best life.
And I'm not talking about, it doesn't always have to be couples. Sometimes you got that super nosy ass friend that just can't mind their business to save their lives.
Yes, indeed.
OMG. Like, can you
They need to get them a man.
scooch it a little bit? Like, get away.
Mind their business. Mind your business.
Or a woman, because you got some guys out here that are just as damn nosy.
occupying down. Men can be just as nosy and just as messy as females.
Yes.
So, you men, y'all can't sit up there and try to say that about females. Yeah, y'all speeches can be just as messy. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, the rumors, dumbass rumors.
Gossipy, all that.
Yes.
Y'all do the same thing. Y'all just low key jobs. That's the only difference.
Not
But
really low key.
not everybody.
Like me,
Not everybody.
like high key. They up there now. It's out there. All out there.
Yeah, the
So
Richter,
let's see.
the Richter scale has tilted.
yeah.
Everybody is not as discreet anymore.
Damn.
If you were discreet,
Discretion
you'd
is no
probably
longer
be
in
better.
play. No? Okay.
No way. Especially, hey, come on. Some of the places where I work, come on, seriously. These guys, man. Oh my goodness. I be sitting there like, dude, look. I don't talk about people behind their back, so can you, like, if you and this person haven't had this conversation already, can you, like, save this with them? Because I really don't want to hear it. Like, seriously, I be telling you. I don't want to hear that. So I don't want to be one of the people involved in gossip, especially when a person that go back and lie on you and say that you said something that you didn't say. Come on. Stay away from that.
Thing is, just if you want to know, go ask that person your damn self.
Exactly.
Don't ask the third party. Go to the source.
Exactly.
That's what you do. You go to the source. That cuts down on a lot of extra being added on to the original.
For the people
I
I
don't even
know.
like secondhand clothes, let alone give me some secondhand information.
Exactly.
I don't need no damn secondhand
For the
information.
people I know, when they want to talk to me about somebody else, and I'm like, what I do is I sit there and I'm like, let it go right there. And they're like, oh, okay, but let me tell you what, no, they right there. Like they're right. Go tell them. Go
Right.
talk to them about them. They're literally right there.
Right.
5 steps. Go talk to them. What you telling me for? I don't care. Or I do them like how I do half the time. They just
Uh-huh.
yeah. That's crazy.
That's like when I see somebody so engulfed in their cell phone, dude. You think I'm gonna sit there and try to hold a conversation with that person?
Oh my gosh.
Like I don't like to walk up to
No.
people and just hold a conversation with them anyway. But I'm just saying, like, if I were that type of person, if I was putting myself in somebody else's shoes that like to walk up and talk to somebody, if I see you engulfed in your cell phone, man, please, I'm not talking to you. For
Right.
what?
You would think they would know by now. You
Right.
see me all in my phone and I don't even
Practically
look at you.
ignoring me.
Stop talking to me because I'm really not even listening. I'm just letting you talk.
Right.
And, oh my God, and the worst one yet, when I got my headphones on, headphones automatically says, do not approach.
Right.
Zip the lip.
Yeah,
Do
especially
not
when the person
talk.
got both of their headphones on. Because, you know, some people will walk around with one off and one
Most
on.
of the time when you do that, if you see somebody around my age doing that, it's really because they make us do it. They're like, you gotta have one in your butt off, you gotta have one. You got a feeling that ball spot in the back of your head. That's what you got. Hey, stay talking, trying to tell somebody what to do. You don't even got all the dang on paperwork in your office. Where my homework at? It still ain't graded yet. And you over here trying to tell me what to do with my stuff. Get you together first. Get you together first. What happened to your wife? She left again. Oh, get you together. Stop worrying about me. Mind your business.
But
I'm
you
doing
know,
what I need.
on the flip side of a person's personal space, when you inject someone else into someone else's business, you're also invading that person's personal space. Like, take for example, we're a couple, but I'm gonna go talk to some strange dude outside that may have seen her before but don't know her about her. I'm basically putting somebody in her personal space. Right. You don't, that's not a no-no, that's a hell.
Exactly.
Fuck no. That's what that is.
Both of y'all to get skipping past.
I don't know what crack
I know,
you've
right?
been smoking, but yeah, you gonna need to
But it's the reason why I'm bringing all these different scenarios up because a lot of people really don't. It's like certain things that's being talked about that you be like, damn, I never really thought about it like that. So if you haven't thought of it like that, then guess what? Now here's somebody bringing it to the table, putting it out there for you to actually take heed to. And if you take heed to these things, then maybe you can eliminate some of the drama that you got in your life.
Man.
Like, seriously.
I don't know.
Who the hell wants to be walking around with drama all the time?
I would hope nobody, if they can help it.
Drama ain't no fun thing.
Some people like being in drama.
Well, I guess they say bad attention.
Bad attention is better than no attention at all.
Right.
Is the saying, but I mean, honestly, why would anybody want that's just stone crazy.
Well, we gotta be careful. You remember? Because some people.
Not with that.
Exactly.
Attention.
You know?
Attention?
No, I'm just saying how we word things because sometimes, people are in certain situations and certain things may seem like that's the norm to them, but it may not be the norm to us.
Well,
Okay, here you are. This is as polite as I can put it. That's not healthy for your mental state of mind. Is that better?
Wonderful to me. It's still hilarious, but
Still what?
it's still hilarious, but it's wonderful to me.
Whatever. Anyway.
But for those of you who came in a little late, today's topic is about personal space, and there's various areas of personal space where people don't seem to understand that they're actually either intruding on that or understand that it is personal space in the first place.
What? At the end of the day, let's just say it. It's all about the mutual respect. It still falls into that category.
Yeah,
It's all about the mutual respect that you have for each other, and the same way you don't want nobody. Well, I think you wouldn't want anyone hanging all over you or crowding you. That should be given as well. So, yeah. Personal space falls into the category, same in the mutual respect family. Yeah. Giving each other personal space, personal growth, all of that. Yes. Plays a part.
And believe it or not, personal space can actually cause growth in various ways, not just in a relationship between couples, but
Well, yeah, because
in
that personal
relationship
growth
between
can be
friends.
beneficial in your relationship. So, it's good to have that.
Exactly.
Honestly, it is. It's good to have it.
It
Try
is.
it.
Because, believe it or not, it can also be the deciding factor of if that relationship is going to last or not. Being that you are one to not give personal space, it can be a deciding factor if that relationship is going to last or not.
That's true.
Some people get into relationships and you have a hope that this is finally the one. I don't have to go through the trauma anymore.
You're hoping that.
This is what it's going to be. Like, you really are. But time changes a lot of things. And sometimes, if you're looking for things to remain the same, you're actually looking for something to become to be mundane, and everybody's not going to fall into that category.
Everybody not into the whole mundane.
No.
People like variety.
But if you're just looking for your focal point to not have a dramatic relationship, now you're looking for an opportunity for growth because now you're willing to do what's necessary between the two of you, not just one person doing it, but between the two of you, now you're willing to do what's necessary to have a long-lasting relationship. And I'm not just talking about couples. You have friends that sometimes this falls into that category too. You have business associates, co-workers, like people who you're around all the time. There is a boundary, and if you respect those boundaries, that boundary can actually be a long-term commitment between the two of you. And I'm not talking about you wrote up a contract and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're not gonna do. No. It's about natural respect. Natural. That's silent communication all day long. I mean, it's verbal, but at the same time, there's a lot of silent communication that falls in between that.
Yeah.
You know, in body language, that's silent communication, right?
Yeah.
Definitely talk about silent communication.
So if you pay attention, then you will fall in that category to where you don't have to worry about there being consistent drama in your life. Just pay attention. It's real simple. It's not even complicated at all.
That's it. Pay attention.
So, in summary, before we actually close out, in summary, we talked about the various things about personal space. You putting somebody else in your business, that's invading that other person's personal space, as well as yours if you're a couple. How you talk to people, communication, your communication intrusive into another person's or another group of people's conversation. That's invading personal space, exactly. How you approach people. Those things are about personal space. How you approach people. You gotta approach appropriately or just stay away. When a person is, another thing is when a person is not willing to communicate back with you, step off. Don't be afraid to step off and don't be insulted by it. It's just, you don't never know what another person is going through, so just step off.
Exactly.
When the person is in their comfort zone, that's another thing. Allow that person to come to a median while they're in their comfort zone, because you can pretty much tell when they like, okay, if they start looking around, you pretty much tell, okay, now this is my opportunity to talk to this person. But if they stuck right there in that moment, allow them their moment. That's their personal space. Allow them that moment. Mentally, the silent communication of paying attention to the person, their eyes, their shoulders, their arm movement. Like me, I talk with my hands. So when I'm talking, so pay attention. It's just a lot of different things that you can pay attention to. So be sure.
Eye contact.
Yes, and definitely eye contact. It's very important. And so be sure to check us out, because I will have this uploaded on our YouTube page, which is called Perspectives Show. So if you type it in on YouTube, type in Perspectives Show.
Yes.
So when you're looking for our page, this segment will be up there for anybody who missed it, anybody who doesn't have our page on Perspective, who hasn't joined our group, please join our group. Go to our YouTube page, watch all of our videos. Let's get it cracking. Let's get the communication going. And please, for those of you who we've asked to give us topics, please don't be afraid to give us a topic where we can actually discuss that. You don't have to be interviewed if you're afraid that we're
Oh
going to
yeah,
interview
if
you.
you
You don't have to be a
want
part of
that,
that.
that's perfectly fine. You don't
But
have to.
we do look for things that are going to keep us engaged with you,
Yes.
because you're the one that's important. We want to keep you engaged and keep you around with us. So, by all means, everybody, flood us with your topics. We don't care. That's fine.
And don't think no topic is ever stupid. No. So,
Definitely not.
The only topic that's stupid right now is the
one.
ones that's not given to us. Those are the ones
Yeah,
that's stupid to
that's
me
the
right
stupid
now.
topic. The fact that they're not being shared or communicated. That's the
Cheesecake.
Okay, and she's touched, as you can see.
Right.
So, yeah.
But thank you all for joining us today. Everybody who has joined us, we greatly appreciate you all.
Yes,
And
yes,
please
yes.
continue to join us. Because as always, we're going to keep it cool.
Keep it classy.
And keep it respectful.
So,
Thanks again. Join us tomorrow for Laid Back Sunday.
Laid Back Sunday,
Where
baby.
we have open topics, which means we can talk about anything we want.
Yes.
and no,
you want.
no topic is pinpointed, none of that. We're basically going to be all over the place, which I like because it's kind of like chaos. Okay. But anyway, thank you for joining us this Saturday evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Grab your glass of wine, kick back and relax.
It's something.
So, until tomorrow.
Appreciate you. Peace.